Is Tom Brady primed and ready for another long postseason run? My name is Mike Petraglia, joined again by Evan Lazar inside Gillette Stadium. This Patriots report is brought to you by 1-in-100. Go to 1-in-100.co now and register for your chance to win in a raffle killer Pats, Bruins, and Celtics tickets for the cost of a large pizza or beer. That's 1-in-100.co. Go there and register today. Tom Brady was exactly what every Patriot fan wanted to see on Sunday.
Can we say vintage today? Because I got some heat for saying vintage in Miami, but I think today we can say
today vintage. I think you can say vintage for this reason. Yeah. I think every Brady pass was thrown with authority and purpose, and he had 4 touchdown passes. So you got the style points and you got the production numbers that I asked Tom about on Friday.
Yeah.
You got both. He was very sharp really all day long. And again, I'll go back to the point. The purpose with which he threw the ball, especially to Julian Edelman Sunday, is a good sign going into the playoffs.
Yeah, he was confident out there today, right? Confident in his protection, confident in the receivers. The receivers were going to be in the right spots. I think the Patriots offense as a whole really felt like they had a really good game plan going into this game, and they really were going to beat the Jets up through the air, knowing that the Jets were going to load the box against the run after what the Patriots have done on the ground the last couple of times out against the Jets and also last week against Buffalo. Good game plan, confident in Tom Brady, and the things around him, we'll get into some of the individual throws, I'm sure, from Brady, but the things around him didn't hurt him like they did last week, right? This week, you had good plays from the receivers, very good protection from the offensive line for most of the day, and that's why I think you saw Tom Brady play at his best.
All right. Of those plays that you referred to, Evan, the one I want to start with is his 3rd touchdown pass of the day in the first half. He scrambled off to his right. Yeah. The pocket sort of moved on him, then collapsed, and he improvised like we've seen Tom Brady do before when he absolutely has to. He gets out, he scrambles, and on the run, on a rollout, he found Philip Dorsett, who was also in motion at the back of the, running with him at the back of the end zone, right along the line, and he threw a perfect strike for the touchdown.
Yeah, what you see there is, the mobility is nice to see. All the rumors about the knee injury, to see him get outside the pocket and move like that was really good to see. But also, how about the patience and just the trust in the offensive line and not kind of getting rattled by the pressure? I think in past weeks, you see that pressure get through the offensive line and force him to get outside the pocket. He's throwing that ball into the third row. Here today, he stayed patient, kept his eyes down the field, worked his way to Philip Dorsett in the back of the end zone and threw a strike.
All right. We all know that Julian Edelman had a very strong game. Anybody who watched that first half, and that really doesn't surprise anybody because, as you said earlier in the day, if you project Julian Edelman's numbers over the course of a 16-game season, and of course he sat out the first 4 games with a suspension, he'd have a career year. But Chris Hogan, I think the throws that he made to Chris Hogan early in this game were significant because maybe after a week of people wondering, do they really miss Josh Gordon or Philip Dorsett, and Chris Hogan going to catch up and really account for the loss of Hogan, Gordon. Today, I think we saw it with both Dorsett and Hogan.
As much as I don't think the players are going to say it to us, I think there was a major point of emphasis in the offensive meeting rooms this week to spread the ball around, to get everybody involved, to not have the offense so reliant on Gronk and Julian Edelman, and to get everybody some targets, spread the wealth, because that's when they're most dangerous, right? That's when it's really hard to defend them, is when all 5 eligible receivers could get the ball on any given play. When the defense knows that the ball is going to Edelman or it knows it's going to Gronkowski, they can double those guys. They can take those guys out with coverage. They can be physical with them. They can do things to kind of get them off their game. When Tom Brady's going to throw to Chris Hogan or Philip Dorsett or the running backs or James Devlin or Dwayne Allen, whoever it may be that's out there, then who do you defend, right? You got to defend everybody. And this Jets team, especially with the injuries at the cornerback position, just had no depth to defend all 5 guys on the field.
All right, another pass that I want to talk about that didn't even count because of an incredibly questionable offensive pass interference on Dwayne Allen was the 30-yarder to Rob Gronkowski. He didn't look like he was speedy out there. He wasn't breaking any 40-yard dash records, but it was a 30-yard rumble, and it looked a little bit like the old Brady to Gronkowski, with Gronkowski running wide open in the middle of his zone.
I thought Gronk looked better today. I thought he got off the line a little bit better. He was obviously breaking some tackles. He had that other conversion on a first down play where he kind of carried Jamal Adams past the first down marker. All those things are really good signs. And one thing I asked him about after the game was getting a free release at the line of scrimmage. It seemed like the Jets were giving him free releases on a couple of his catches. And he said, quite frankly, that when he gets chipped by a defensive end or a linebacker on his way out of the route, it makes his life a whole lot more difficult. So when teams don't do that, he's still kind of able to get to that top speed and build up speed and, you know, maybe not win any 40s like you said, but at least get fast enough that he can beat coverage. I thought today that was really where you saw some of his openings happen. Hopefully that nobody else that's going to play the Patriots in the future hears that quote from Gronk that I asked him about, because that's really the defense that's really slowed him down this year. Get in his face, beat him up at the line of scrimmage, don't allow him to get out of his route. And today the Jets allowed him to get out of his route a few times and he beat him.
It was kind of a twinkle in Julian Edelman's eye when he was asked after the game about the return of the passing game and how everybody seemed to click, and he said that's kind of what we do here at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough when we're successful, and everybody here in Foxborough can only hope that Tom Brady has found his groove going into the postseason. This Patriots Report is brought to you by 1-in-100. Go to 1in100.co now and register for your chance to win in a raffle Killer Pats, Bruins, and Celtics tickets for the cost of a large pizza or a beer. That's 1in100.co. Go there and register today. Inside Gillette Stadium, he's Evan Lazar. I'm Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.